One of the most fascinating and celebrated sequences in Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune is on the sinister Harkonnen homeworld of Geidi Prime. Both the director and the cinematographer Greg Fraser have provided insight into the decision to have the brutal planet orbit a dark star and what led to such a unique visual take. In this video, I'd like to explore the creative process behind depicting the black sun of Geidi Prime and consider how this kind of star and its light would affect this planet's inhabitants. In a recent interview, the Dune director revealed the creative motivation that led to the black and white aesthetic for the homeworld of the Harkonnens, saying, "The idea came from the book. One of the aspects that I love in the book is the idea that the book is a study of the impact of the ecosystem on human beings, all from the nature of the ecosystem, the human-developed religions, techniques, and ways of survival, all their culture. We are the product of our environment." And in regards to the artificial nature of the Harkonnen environment, the director elaborated further. Where are they coming from? When you look at the desert, you know a lot about the Fremen, but Geidi Prime is an artificial, plastic world where nature has disappeared. I did feel that something was missing, that it would be interesting to create a world that has its own physical logic, but that also will give us some clue of why the Harkonnens are as they are. The idea that the sunlight, instead of revealing color, will kill color and will bring some feeling of a binary world where things are black or white, and this fascist and totalitarian environment will give me the opportunity to create images that will resonate and feel like an old World War II fascist movie. The depiction of the Harkonnen world being so artificial, devoid of nature, strikes to the core attributes of its rulers, and further highlights the stark contrast from the lush, verdant world of Caladan, home of their bitter enemy House Atreides. In regards to the original source material, it is established that Geidi Prime orbits a low-intensity sun, only emitting a quarter of the luminescence of Earth's sun. Despite these lower photosynthesis levels, certain plant life and even forests were once able to grow in this environment. However, the Harkonnen succession of rulers continued to exploit the planet for its resources, leading to heavy industrialization of the planet and gradually turning their homeworld into a military-industrial complex fueled by greed and lust for power. This resulted in it becoming a desolate world with a harsh volcanic climate. Villeneuve's interpretation certainly reflects and expands upon the nature of Geidi Prime and the greed of its overseers. Given the established lore, I find it intriguing to imagine what kind of alien plant life would have evolved to thrive under the light of such a dark star. It certainly sparks the imagination to envision the eerie and otherworldly forests that could exist on this planet. When it comes to how this visual interpretation of the Harkonnen world was accomplished, award-winning cinematographer Greg Fraser recently spoke about how he was able to bring the black star of Geidi Prime to life on screen, saying, "We'd been on this planet for night interiors in part 1, but we'd never been outside, so we were discussing what it would look like. I did a test for Denis where the inhabitants have very pale white skin, based on the notion that there's no visible light from the sun on Geidi Prime. Only infrared light. When the characters go from inside to outside, they effectively go from normal light to infrared light." In a separate interview, Fraser elaborated, "The sun puts out a lot of infrared, as we know. That's what creates life on this planet, the heat from the sun and the infrared. What it does too is it creates a really amazing effect on skin tone. We needed to come up with rules for what the sun does. We need to say, okay, well, why is the inside color? And so our rules were effectively everything that the sun hits is washed out, so it's direct sun and it's bounced sun." When considering the sun's effects on its inhabitants, Villeneuve added, "I was looking for some kind of eerie black and white. Greg brought the idea that we could shoot with IR cameras, which excited me because the skin becomes almost translucent. You see the veins to the skin. You see the eyes become almost like insect eyes, something reptile or animalistic. Spooky." In Villeneuve's adaptation, the constant exposure to the infrared light from their black sun has been deeply ingrained in the cultural psyche of Geidi Prime's inhabitants, influencing their art, rituals, and belief systems, shaping their understanding of good and evil, beauty and decay. Living amidst these stark contrasts of black and white fosters a binary mindset, warping their morality, power dynamics, and social structures. Observing other humans under the effects of this translucence would inevitably alter their perceptions of individuals and themselves. Villeneuve's description of the sunlight's effects, rendering them more insectoid or reptilian, suggests a departure from humanity, which no doubt gives rise to feelings of alienation and dissociation. Consequently, this would only deepen the psychological impact on the inhabitants, potentially leading to a more primal outlook on life, absent any appreciation for the rich spectrum of colors and the beauty it encompasses. While the leadership on Geidi Prime are the ones who are largely responsible for its brutal environment, it stands to reason that the infrared light that bathes their world would only reinforce such brutality. As such, their government is devoid of any nuance, a cutthroat, fascist, and totalitarian system. One particular physical trait among Harkonnen society is their hairlessness, unique to Villeneuve's interpretation. The director has revealed his motivations for this, saying, "I love the idea that Harkonnens are a society that doesn't like hair. They remove everything. They want to be as far away from any part of their past as possible, where they are coming from. There's a will of purity." It's interesting that their hairlessness is not a direct result of the black sun, but rather speaks to the possible psychological effects this lighting could have on their society. Having distanced themselves from their past, destroying the natural flora and fauna that once existed on this planet, they have also similarly removed anything resembling natural physical human traits. Instead, they came to embrace the alien and poisonous environment of their world. Having killed off the planet's natural resources, the Harkonnens turned to artificial products for medicines and sustenance, striving to attain a chemical purity. In Villeneuve's adaptation, their bodies had been so inundated with toxins that the Fremen could only use their water for cooling systems. Another fascinating element of the Harkonnen arena scenes were the black ink-blot fireworks that marked the infrared daytime sky of the planet as a part of Fade's battle. Fraser commented on the conception of this effect, saying, "Denis came to me and said, 'I've got this great idea. They're like anti-fireworks. They suck the light out as opposed to putting the light in.' I'm like, what a great idea. I don't have any idea how to do that. We worked pretty hard at trying to achieve that goal, this kind of anti-explosion type of light." Ultimately, the distinctive cinematography and blend of these otherworldly elements in the arena sequences on Geidi Prime undeniably resonated with audiences, effectively capturing the eerie and unsettling spirit of the Harkonnens. In exploring the creative choices behind the development of their monochromatic world and its impact on their society, it becomes apparent that their civilization has fallen into complete harmony with their black sun. Thus, Geidi Prime has become a world of artificial binaries, a society composed entirely of slaves and their slavers, a poisoned populace obsessed with chemical purity, and a governmental hierarchy where it's kill or be killed. But I'm curious to know what you think of the choice to give Geidi Prime a black sun in Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune. Do you feel that this design effectively complemented the menacing and brutal spirit of the Harkonnens? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Dune and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. And if you're looking for other ways to show your appreciation, you can check out my Patreon page, where members get access to exclusive content and perks. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.